Yeah, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, JNV Budana and the other one, JNV Satara. Yeah. So can you able to see me and am I visible? Yeah, good afternoon, dear students. Am I visible and audible? Let me know in the chat box if I'm visible and audible to you. Just give me a thumbs up or type yes in the chat box. Can you able to see my screen? Yes? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your response, dear students. Yeah. So today's class and here in this session we are going to discuss JEE mains strategies. Okay, for your upcoming JEE mains exams. So we are to follow some strategies. Okay? So that we will see for chemistry. So moving on to the first, yeah, here in this session we will discuss how to approach each chemistry. Like in chemistry, we have three branches, right? Physical chemistry, organic chemistry, and inorganic chemistry. Like how to approach each thing in these last few days, and what are the important formulas and topics that you have to keep in mind. So those things I will give you, and we will discuss the do's and don'ts, okay, of the exams. So like this, we will discuss certain things and the kind of time management. So those things I will be discussing with you in this session. Okay. So let me start from the important tips that I want to give for all the three branches of chemistry. So let's start with physical chemistry. So how to approach physical chemistry? So what you have to do, you have to write down, you have to jot down all the important formulas of physical chemistry in a sheet of paper first. Okay. If you have not done that yet, you don't have to worry. I have some slides for the formulas. In the upcoming slides, I will show you. You can take the screenshot of it and you can write it down and keep, or you can take the printout and keep it. Okay. So you have to keep all the formulas in a single sheet or in 2 sheets or 3 sheets. You have to keep the formula first and you have to study all those formulas. And you have to solve minimum 5 numericals from each concept. Okay, like for example, if I'm taking chemical kinetics, then in chemical kinetics, you have to solve some 5 numericals related to rate constant and 5 numericals related to half-life. So like that, you have to take each topic and you have to solve at least 5 numericals. Okay, so you have to concentrate on that and then you have to practice all the previous year's questions to get a better idea of level of numerical questions asked. This you might have done and we have also done in the class, right? So again and again you start revising those questions. So that will be very useful for you. Then coming to the inorganic chemistry, chemistry. So this is the very most scoring section in your exam. Okay, very most, the uttermost, what we can say, it is a scoring section where you can get more marks. So especially chemical bonding, coordination compounds. So these topics are very, very important. And many of the inorganic chemistry lessons have been deleted this year. So like hydrogenase block and all, they have deleted, no? So only the two major inorganic chemistry lessons that we have from this year onwards is chemical bonding and coordination compound. Give more attention to these two chapters. So more attention means doesn't mean that you have to leave the other chapters like D and F block and P block. You should not leave that totally. You have to give more weightage to these. Okay, more time you have to spend. So yeah, you have to give more focus to these in your last few days. Okay. Then coming to the third chemistry, that is in organic chemistry, you have to give time for GOC and hydrocarbons. Okay, we have 7 organic chemistry lessons, right? Including biomolecules, we have 7 organic chemistry lessons. And in that, you have to give more focus to general organic chemistry, and hydrocarbons. So these two organic chemistry lessons will fall under your class 11, and you have to be very, what to say, the conceptual understanding of these two chapters will help you to solve more number of questions which are going to be asked from the other four lessons, like haloalkanes and haloarenes, aldehydes, ketones, alcohols, and amines. So if you are strong enough in these two chapters, so you will be able to solve questions on those chapters also, because you will be studying the mechanism, right? That how an electrophile is reacting with a nucleophile. Those things will be covered in these two. So master these two chapters well. Okay. Now you have to make some important notes and pointers, like you have to take a hints. You have to write the general reactions. Okay, study all the preparations. So what we will have in organic chemistry, we have the preparation first. If we are taking a compound, we will study the preparation of that compound, and then we will discuss the physical property, and then we will discuss the chemical property, right? So you have to study all the preparation and all the chemical reactions. You should not leave even a single reaction. Okay. So you should not leave even a single reaction, and all the naming reactions are very important. Okay, they may not ask you by giving the name, but all the named reactions will be asked. Okay, they will give you the reactant and the reagent, and they will ask you to find out the product. Or they will give a reactant and a product, and they will ask you to find out the reagent. Okay. So you should master. So you need practice. You might have already practiced by now, and just revise it once again. Okay. Concentrate more on the naming reactions. Okay. Especially in aldehydes and ketones lesson, we have a more number of naming reactions. So concentrate more on those things and then study. Clear? So this is how we have to approach each and every chemistry. For physical chemistry, take a formula sheet and write down all the formulas. And for inorganic, study chemical bonding and coordination compounds thoroughly. And for organic, you can make the flowcharts also for organic chemistry. Like put a preparation and then divide that. So how many, like if we are taking alkanes, so we have three main category, main preparation for alkanes. So divide that. So like that you can make a flowchart and study at the last. Okay. You can revise it. So while revising also you can make the flowchart. So it's up to you. So this is about these three, and now next I'm going to give you the important topics under each chemistry. Okay, under each lesson of each chemistry. So talking about the physical chemistry first, the first lesson is mole concept, and in mole concept we have more topics, and concentration terms stoichiometry part is very important. Okay, concentration terms in the sense all the molality, mass percentage, and mole fraction, those formulas based numericals will come. That is very important. Okay, and the stoichiometry part, stoichiometry calculations and limiting reagents, those are you have to concentrate. And coming to the atomic structure, it is Bohr's model. So in Bohr's model, we have formulas as well as we have postulates, right? So you have to study all things. And coming to the quantum mechanical model also, the same thing, the de Broglie equation, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle formula. So those formulas you have to study. Okay, formulas are very important. Numerical based question will come in this. And coming to the redox, you should know how to find out the oxidation state for an element. I hope you all will be knowing by this time, right? So that is very important. And some special cases also we have, right? Like for example, CrO5. For CrO5 and all, we cannot keep this chromium as X and find out the oxidation state. So you have to draw the structure and then you have to pick out the oxidation state of that element. So all the special cases also you have to study, and the equivalent concept and redox titration part. So I will give you the formulas. Okay, at the end I will give you the formulas for the equivalent concepts and all. So now moving on to the next lesson, it is ionic equilibrium. Ionic equilibrium and chemical equilibrium. So in ionic equilibrium, concentrate more on the pH related questions, okay, and solubility product. Solubility product is very easy, but it is very important. Okay, and in buffer solution, study the two types, acidic buffer and basic buffer. And acidic buffer is a mixture of what, and basic buffer is a mixture of what. So some examples under each thing. So those things you have to study. And chemical equilibrium, Kp-Kc relation. Kp is equal to Kc into RT power delta Ng, right? So that relation is very important. Using that relation, you can get questions from any of its side. Okay, so study that relation properly, and we will have some 3 cases under this, right? Kp is equal to Kc into RT power delta Ng, and if delta Ng is equal to 0 or greater than 0 or less than 0. So 3 cases will fall under this, and all the 3 are important. Then Le-Chatelet's principle. Le-Chatelet's principle and the problems on all the equilibrium calculation. Okay, Kc, Kp relation calculations are also there, and Le-Chatelet's principle theory part is also important. And coming to thermodynamics, formula-based questions on different process. So we have some 4 to 5 process, right? Like isothermal process, adiabatic process, and isobaric process, isoporic process. So what are these things? Some term will be constant. If it is isothermal, temperature is constant. If it is isoporic, volume will be constant. So you have to study all the process and its related formulas. Then first law of thermodynamics is very, very important. Okay, delta U is equal to Q plus W formula. First law of thermodynamics problems, they are very important. And Gibbs free energy, delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So this is again an important topic. You can get questions from and you will not get the question straight away, but you have to concentrate more and practice more questions on this. Then the chemical kinetics. So experimental determination of rate. So how to write the rate equation for a given relation, and how to find out, or what are the formulas to find out the half-life and rate constant formula for zero order and first order reaction. So that is very important. For zero and first order reaction, you need to find out the half-life relation and the rate constant relation, and the 2 graphs under each will be there, and that you have to study. Okay. So what are the slope values? So concentrate on that. And coming to Arrhenius equation, it is K is equal to A into E power minus EA by RP. Arrhenius equation related questions are also important. Okay. And in that Arrhenius equation, K will be, K is directly proportional to T. So that is important. We can see this again in the formula slide. You don't have to worry. Okay. So chemical kinetics is a simple lesson, very easy lesson. Only very few formulas are there, and some will be direct questions also. So you can study that. And coming to electrochemistry, Nernst equation. Nernst equation, very important topic. And electrolysis, Kohlrausch law. So might be knowing that. And coming to the solutions, Raoult's law, Henry's law is also there. Henry's law is for gases and Raoult's law is for liquids, right? But so far, many questions were asked from Raoult's law. To concentrate in that. And ideal and non-ideal solution relations, force of interaction relation, and delta B, delta H relation, and the examples. That is very important. Examples for ideal and non-ideal solution. That is important. And the colligative property is the second half of the solution lesson, right? Colligative property. How many colligative property we have? 4 colligative property. Elevation of boiling point, relative lowering of vapor pressure, depression in freezing point, and osmotic pressure. So all the numericals related to this 4 colligative properties are very, very, very important. Okay. So you might have practiced, revise it again. Then next I will jump to the inorganic chemistry. So the inorganic chemistry, if we see only these 4 lessons are very important. The only lesson that I have left is P block. Since more topics under P block were deleted in this year, I didn't include that in this important topics slide. So as I've already told you, the first lesson is chemical bonding. Okay, chemical bonding. So in chemical bonding, Fejan's rule, dipole moment, VBT. So actually there are 3 theories. You have to concentrate on it. First is valence bond theory. Okay, valence bond theory is very important, and the VSEPR theory is again very, very important. VSEPR theory is, from that they will ask you to find out the shape of a molecule, right? So that thing, and molecular orbital theory is again an important thing. So in that, we should know how to find out the bond order and bond length, nature of the bond, magnetic nature, molecular orbital energy level diagram and its order. Everything we have to study. Got it? Then coming to the coordination compounds, isomerism, structural isomerism and stereoisomerism part. So study the examples that is given in this lesson under each isomerism. Okay, because those are very simple, okay, and easy. You should not get confused. Just have a clear idea in isomerism part. And in valence bond theory of coordination compound, they will ask you to find out the shape and hybridization using VBT, and the magnetic properties also we have to find out. So that we will know. If a compound is given to you, you will be able to find all these things, right? So that give more concentration on that. And coming to the periodic classification lesson, so we have some properties, physical properties, ionization energy, atomic radius, and electron gain enthalpy. So the trend across the period and on moving down the trend of all these three properties you have to study. And coming to the D and F block, and there are also some exceptions given. Okay, those exceptions are very important for this. So you have to study that. And D and F block, electronic configuration. First of all, you need to memorize all the elements, 3D elements you should memorize by now. Okay, electronic configuration of each and the exceptions under each. Chromium and copper is an exception, right, for electronic configuration. So that thing we have to study. And all the magnetic moment formulas and its related problems. Magnetic moment is equal to root of n into n plus 2. So this formula you have to study. And the questions which are coming from this topic is, what to say, it's very easy. Okay, so you should not get confused. Some students used to put one here. So that kind of mistakes and all you should not make. Okay. So do all these 4 topics and concentrate on these topics from inorganic. Now next we will go for organic chemistry. So as I have already told, GOC and hydrocarbons are very important. The nomenclature, all the effects, electronic effects, resonance and conjugation, and aromaticity. So this aromaticity is again and very important. Okay, if some compounds are 4 to 5 compounds are given to you, you should be able to find out which among the given compounds are aromatic. So we have some certain rules, right? We have 4 rules to find out whether the compound is aromatic or not. So you have to use those 4 rules and you have to find out. And all the intermediates, carbocation, carbanion, the intermediate related questions, and isomerism. Here also we have 2, optical and geometrical, but geometrical isomerism is very important. Okay. Geometrical isomerism is otherwise called as cis-trans isomerism. So that is important. And coming to hydrocarbons, we have alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. So under each topic, we have preparation and chemical property. But the properties which I have given here, first study these things and give importance to other things later. And halogenation of alkane. First is halogenation of alkane, reaction with halogen. So it will come in the chemical property. So study that. Decarboxylation. So this will come in your preparation of alkenes. Removal of CO2 or Na2CO3 is decarboxylation. And hydrogenation of alkene. Addition of hydrogen to double bond or triple bond. That is very easy. And the ozonolysis is important. Reaction with O3 in presence of zinc and H2O is ozonolysis. So do that. If ozonolysis is asked, what we have to do? There will be an alkene system, right? There will be an alkene system. We have to break this bond and we have to add O and O to both the sides. So ozonolysis is important. And hydrohalogenation. Hydrohalogenation of alkene and alkynes and hydration of alkyne. Lastly, Friedel-Crafts reactions of benzene. Friedel-Crafts alkylation and Friedel-Crafts acylation. So these are the important reactions of this hydrocarbons lesson. Then the next is haloalkenes. SN1, SN2 mechanism. SN1, SN2, the differentiation. So the difference between SN1, SN2, the difference between Markovnikov and anti-Markovnikov, where we will use Markovnikov and where we have to use anti-Markovnikov. So that thing you have to keep in mind. In Markovnikov, we have water and acid. But in anti-Markovnikov, some peroxide will be there. Okay. and the Lucas test. So in Lucas test, tertiary alcohol will form the turbidity immediately. Primary alcohols will not react. And Wood's reaction. Wood's reaction is important again, and Wood's, Grignard's, these are the naming reactions you have to study. Wood's, Grignard, and all the name reactions. Sandmeyer, and those things will come. Okay. And coming to alcohols, phenols, and ethers, preparation of alcohols, reaction of alcohol, preparation of phenol, reactions of phenol, ethers, chemical property. Means the whole lesson is very important. The whole lesson is very important. Okay. So all the preparations and all the reactions present in this lesson are very important. Okay. You have to study. Nothing specific here. And the next is aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids. The chemical properties. We will have aldol condensation, reduction, oxidation, Cannizzaro reaction. Everything will be there in the chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones. You have to study all the reactions. And preparation, chemical reactions of carboxylic acid, preparation, physical property, and all the. So the whole lesson is again important. Whole lesson is again important. Then the amines. So talking about this organic chemistry, the whole organic, as I've already told you, it is important. You cannot leave. Organic chemistry is a very important part. So you cannot leave a single chapter or a single topic in organic chemistry part. In amines, give concentration to Hinsberg reagent, nitrous acid, basicity, Hoffman bromamide. Yeah, Hoffman bromamide, Gabriel thalamide, those are important. Carbylamine, diazotization. Okay, only two reactions will be there for diazotization. So those two reactions are very important. And talking about biomolecules, carbohydrates, preparation of carbohydrate, reactions of glucose, and the reducing and non-reducing nature of glucose, and all the isomeric part, anomers, epimers of glucose, and the difference between DNA and RNA. Okay, some you will get questions from vitamins also. Okay, vitamins and nucleic acids. That's what DNA and RNA, and vitamins and hormones will be there. You can leave the hormones. Hormones are not that much important. You can study vitamins and enzymes part. Enzymes part is also very important. Okay. So this is about organic. Then next we will discuss all the formulas in physical chemistry. Okay. In a single slide, I will show you the formulas for each topic. So the first we will start from mole concept. So to find out the moles using number of particles, you can take the screenshot of it. You can take the screenshot of it to find out the number of particles and the moles. If you want to, if you multiply the number of moles by Avogadro number, you will get the number of particles. If you divide this by the Avogadro number, you will get the mole. So accordingly, you have to do. So number of moles is calculated using given mass by molar mass. Given mass by molar mass. Number of moles is equal to the given mass by molar mass, right? So this is the relation. And if I want to find out the given mass, what I have to do? Number of moles into molar mass. Number of moles into molar mass is giving the given mass. So take the screenshot accordingly for volume also. Accordingly for volume also. If you multiply the number of moles by 22.4, it will give you the molar volume, and if you divide it, it will give you the number of moles. Clear? Shall we move on to the next slide? Say yes or no? JNV Sadhara students. Shall I move on to the next slide? Yes. Yes or no? Are you there? Am I audible? Okay, the next is, yeah. Okay, thank you so much, dear students. And coming to the next thing, the concentration terms, all the formulas I told you, right? Mass percent, mass by volume percent, volume by volume percent. You can take this, and molarity, molality, mole fraction. So these three formulas are very important. These three formulas are very important. Just have a look on it. And we have the formula for normality also. To find out the normality, it is number of gram. See, if you want me to stop at any of the slide, if you want to take the screenshot or if you want to note it down, just let me know. I'll wait for you. Okay. If you're already having these things with you, you don't have to worry about it. You want me to stop anywhere and anywhere else, you just stop me. And the relation between normality and molarity, it is n is equal to m into n factor. Okay. These are very rare only. Then let's move on to the redox reactions formulas. In the redox reaction, we will majorly find out the equivalent mass. For elements, you have to use atomic weight by valency factor. For acid base, molarity by basicity or acidity. For oxidizing agent, molarity by number of moles of electrons gained or lost. Okay. So this is to find out the equivalent mass, out of which this first formula will be used more frequently. This is very important. Okay. This is for redox. The next topic is the number of gram equivalence formula. Number of gram equivalence can be calculated using given mass by equivalent mass. Number of moles is given mass by molar mass. And number of gram equivalent is given mass by molar mass by n factor. And number of gram equivalent is equal to number of moles into n factor. So using this relation, we are arriving at this last relation. So instead of given mass by molar mass here, in this place, we are substituting the number of moles and into n factor. Okay. So the next is thermodynamics. Thermodynamics formulas. As I have already told you, the different types of process: isothermal temperature constant, isoporic volume constant, pressure constant for isobaric, and heat exchange between the system and surrounding will be 0 for adiabatic process. So these are very basic and very important. And the IUPAC convention for work: if the work is done on the system, it is positive. If the work is done by the system, it is negative. Okay. And the first law of thermodynamics: delta Q is equal to U is equal to Q plus W. Okay. So sign convention is very important for physical chemistry. Clear? So concentrate. And the calculation of heat, to find out the total heat capacity, it is Q by T, dQ by dt. And to find out the molar heat capacity, it will be dQ by n dt. And for specific heat capacity, it is dQ by m dt. And to find out the Cp and Cv, you have to use these two relations, but we will not use these two. It is very rare only, but the first three formulas are very important. Okay. Total heat capacity, molar heat capacity, and specific heat capacity. Okay. Then the work done. So for isobaric process in which the pressure is constant, for that particular process, the work done is equal to minus P external into delta V. Very, very important formula. And isoporic also, work done will be 0. As delta V goes to 0, work done will be equal to 0. Then coming to enthalpy, it is delta U plus P delta V and delta U plus delta NGRT. This formula will be using very often, and this was the very important formula for 1 mole of an ideal gas. Cp minus Cv is equal to RT. Okay. Then coming to entropy, dQ by T is entropy. I told you, right? Gibbs free energy part is very important. So that is delta H minus T delta S. Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. And the three cases for delta G. If it is equal to 0, equilibrium, greater than 0, non-spontaneous, lesser than 0, then the reaction is spontaneous. Delta G value should be always negative. Then only the process is said to be spontaneous. Okay. Now let's move on to the chemical equilibrium formulas. The first is equilibrium constant, which is equal to Kf by Kb. And to find out the equilibrium constant in terms of concentration, product of the product concentration by reactant concentration into, raised to the stoichiometric coefficient. And in terms of partial pressure, Kp is equal to Pc into Pd by Pa into Pb raised to their stoichiometric coefficient. Okay, very important. Then this was the relation I've already given. And the reaction quotient, if you see, Q is equal to At equilibrium, K will be equal to Q. So instead of K, just put Q, the remaining part is C as that of equilibrium constant for reaction quotient. And to find out the degree of dissociation, number of moles dissociated by initial number of moles will give you this alpha. And from this alpha, we can calculate the dissociation constant of a weak acid using this particular relation. C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. Okay. For weak base, instead of Ka, we can put Kb. Taking the root of Kb by C will give you the degree of dissociation alpha. For ionic equilibrium case, you can use this. Got it? Then coming to the ionic product of water. Ionic product of water. This particular last statement relation is important. pH plus pOH is equal to 14 and that is equal to pKw. pKw. So this equation is valid only at 25 degrees Celsius. That is only at 298 Kelvin. This particular relation is valid. Okay. So if some other temperature is given to you, you cannot use this pKw is equal to 14 relation. Got it? Then coming to the ionic equilibrium formulas, as I have already told you, the pH part is very important. pH is equal to minus log of H plus and pOH is equal to minus log of OH minus concentration. Okay, these two formulas are important. Then the salt hydrolysis. Salt hydrolysis. So we have three combination. One is strong acid and weak base. So for that, use this to find out the pH. Log C. C is nothing but the concentration. C is nothing but the concentration. And for strong base and weak acid, just put plus. Instead of minus, you put plus, and instead of Kb, you put Ka. And for weak acid and weak base, you have to use the third relation. Got it? And these are the formulas to find out the hydrolysis. H is hydrolysis. You have to note down all the formulas and memorize all the formulas. There is no other way. Okay. Then coming to the buffer solution, we have two types of buffer, acidic buffer and basic buffer. In acidic buffer, we can find out the pH from pKa. And in basic buffer, we can find out the pOH from pKb. The salt by acid and salt by base. Okay. Take down this. And the solubility product. Solubility product. If some reaction salt is given to you, like if CaCl2 is given to you, what you have to do? It will be dissociated like Ca2 plus and 2Cl minus, right? And here only one cation we have got and two anions are there. Then the solubility is S and here it is 2S, 2S. Then if I want to write out the solubility product, what I will do? I will do S power 1 and 2S power 2. I have to write this coefficient at the top. Then it will be S into 4S square. So what is this? 4S cube. So like this we have to calculate the solubility product. Got it? This is a general formula for any type of salt. This is a general formula that you have to use. So any doubt from the till this equilibrium lesson? Shall I move on to the next lesson? Yes? Yes? I'll go with the solutions lesson, okay? Solutions. So in solutions, all the concentration terms are very important that you might have studied in mole concept lesson itself. Then coming to Henry's law, the partial pressure will be directly proportional to the mole fraction. And Kh is the Henry's constant. And for Raoult's law, partial pressure is again proportional to mole fraction only, but this is for liquids. Raoult's law is for liquid and Henry's law is for gases. Instead of this Kh, we will have Pa naught and Pp naught, where the Pa naught represents the vapor pressure of the pure component. Pp naught is the vapor pressure of the pure component B. And the relative lowering of vapor pressure, these are the colligative property formula. Relative lowering of vapor pressure, elevation and boiling point. To find out the molar mass, you have to use this relation. And if molarity is given, you can use this relation. And the depression and freezing point. So elevation and boiling point and depression and freezing point, both are more or less same only. Instead of delta TB, here we have to use delta TF. That's all. And here KF instead of KB. The rest all remains same. And for osmotic pressure, it is equal to CRT. And we know concentration is equal to number of moles divided by volume. So instead of the C, put N into N by V. According to the question, you have to use the corresponding formulas. Okay. This is for solution. 4 qualitative proper test formulas and Henry's law and Raoult's law formula. That alone you are going to study from solutions. Then the next is electrochemistry. In electrochemistry, we have to study the E0 cell, Nernst equation, and Gibbs free energy relation. This is very important, which relates the equilibrium constant and the Gibbs free energy. And at equilibrium, the Nernst equation will become like this. Okay. And the at equilibrium, this part, this Kc. Instead of that, you have to write like this. That's it. And the Faraday's first law and second law. First law and second law formula we have to study. The relation also we have to study. Okay. Then resistance, conductance, resistivity, conductivity, molar conductivity, equivalent conductivity. So those parts are there. We have formulas under each. You can take the note of it and or take the screenshot of this. I think you guys are listening from your classroom. Am I right? Okay, anyways. So try to take a snap of it. Then the last is Kohlrausch law for strong electrolyte and for weak electrolyte. You can so this relation is important. Okay, this relation is very important. Weak electrolytes relation is important. Then talking about the chemical kinetics, the rate law. You know how to write the rate law, and I have already told you that you should know to find out the rate constant and the integrated rate law equation, the unit of rate constant, and all the plots. For zero order reaction, it will be concentration of the reactant versus time. And for first order, the graph will be like this. Ln A, logarithmic function of concentration of A versus time. And for second order, it is 1 by concentration of A versus time. Okay. And the slope equation, slope for each order. And the T-half relation for each order. So you have to concentrate more on the zero order reaction, first order reaction. Second order is very rare only. Okay. Concentrate more on first and second order. Sorry, zero and first order. Then the next is Arrhenius equation. Arrhenius equation is very important. And the last is for the two systems. If two systems are given, then the rate constant temperature will be different, right? Okay, or if I'm increasing the temperature, the rate constant will differ. And for that, you have to use the last relation. Okay, this is from Arrhenius. And these are the physical chemistry formulas. These are the physical chemistry formulas. Now, next I'm going to give you the do's and don'ts. Okay. First, we will discuss the do's during preparation. Make sure you take short breaks in between your study session. Okay. Don't study till the last minute or during your revision time. You should give some short breaks. Okay. You should not give some 1 or 2 hour break. You have to give some short break, like 10 to 5 minutes. You have to give some break. If you're completing one particular lesson or some concept, give some 5 minutes. Okay. And take healthy food and plenty of water. Okay. Don't sit and study for 24 hours. So take healthy food and plenty of water. Avoid some hard food. Okay. Sleep is very important, and so avoid skipping sleep. At least you sleep for 7 hours each day, and then you give your rest of your hours to study. Okay. Revise your syllabus diligently and divide your time and follow it while solving the previous year's paper for attempt. That I already told you. No, try to solve the PYQs, previous year's papers. That is very important, and try to attempt the mock test also. That will fetch you more marks. So read through the NCERT to clear all the basics. Okay, you might have already done this, and then go for the study material. You should, NCERT is the Bible. Okay, that the concepts which are given in NCERT, they are very important. So if you have not covered any part of any lesson from NCERT, try to complete it by today itself. And try to attempt the computer-based test, mock test, to become familiar with the computer-based examination. Okay, if you are attempting any mock test by today or tomorrow, then go for the computer-based test. then only you can able to manage the time. You'll know how you are managing your time. Okay. And you have to know the exact location of your JEE main center. Otherwise, you might end up with wasting a lot of time looking for the exam center on the day of exam. So go one day before and check your exam center. Okay. And these are the things you have to do during your exam preparation. And then during the exam, what you have to do, you have to reach your center at least 45 minutes before. Okay. And then try to bring your JEE main admit card, undertaking form, those ID proofs, etc., to your examination center and verify all the things that are needed and all the signature that are made in designated column 2 or please. So these are the things you have to do during exam. Okay. And also during the examination time, you have to read, first of all, read all the instructions on the question paper. Okay, and the response form thoroughly. Okay, they are given for a reason, so you should not skip. You have to sit and study the instructions, which are very important. Then take a few moments to go over the JEE paper and you can assess the level of paper and you can start answering accordingly. Okay. It is a time-based engineering entrance test, right? So don't spend too much time on a single question. Okay. If don't spend too much time on so don't sit with a single question for 10 minutes to 15 minutes. Okay. If you're not getting the thing, go for the next question. So time is very, very important. Okay. Even if you have studied for hours and hours, if you don't manage the time in the examination hall, everything is going to be, it is waste. No, it will go in vain. So concentrate on timing. If you have time remaining at the end of the exam, try to identify the questions that are, if you have completed your exam before itself, means again you recheck. Okay, that are easy. If you have left any question, try to answer that question if you're having time. And do answer the questions you are sure of. Don't think that if you answer all the questions, you will get more mark. Okay, that concept will not work. If you know the answer, you attend. Avoid random answering of questions. Okay, don't think that in luck you will get more marks kind of thing. You should not think in that way and all. If you know, you give the answer. If you don't know, just come. That's all. Okay. Then coming to the don'ts, you should not procrastinate as it is one of the biggest enemies of JEE main exam preparation. While preparing for your exam, you should not postpone. You should not procrastinate. Like, okay, tomorrow I'll study. Okay, today afternoon I'll study. Today night I'll study. I'll study the day before the exam. I'll study this day before the exam. I'll study this day before. Don't procrastinate each and every concept from all the subjects. Okay. So avoid that procrastinating and don't ignore any topic. You should not avoid. I have given you the important topics that you have to concentrate in each lesson in the previous slides. Those are important. Doesn't mean you have to leave the other topics. You have to study. You have to study. Okay. Don't panic. The JEE main is a tough exam, but with the right preparation and mindset, you can crack it. It is one of the very difficult exam only, but have positive attitude. Okay. Your preparation will be right, I guess so. And with the positive mindset, you go and do it, you can crack it. Okay. Do not answer questions based on guesswork. This is what I have told. No, again and again, I'm saying negative marking. It will fetch you negative marking. So don't go for the guess. Okay. You don't have to attend all the questions. Try to attend 80 to 90% of the questions which you know. Okay. You don't have to attend all the 100%. If you are not sure, if you are sure of all the questions, you can attend, no issues. If you are not sure of any question, you don't have to go for the 100% appearance. Okay. Then the fifth thing is, don't ignore the time management during your exam. Okay. And do not bring any electronic devices like mobile phones, calculators, etc. And don't put yourself through needless stress by wearing uncomfortable clothing. So wear a comfortable clothing and go for it. Okay. Don't let those clothes disturb you. Okay. So this is about the do's and don'ts. that you have to follow during your examination and during your exam and in the examination hall. Then before that, you have to take some mock test. I told you, no, that you have to attempt some computer-based mock test. While doing that, you have to analyze your mock test. You should not just simply write the test and coming out. You have to analyze. Just attempting the mock test is not sufficient. You have to see your performance in the mock test. Okay? You have to see the performance and you have to see the areas in which you need the improvement. So for that purpose only you are attending the mock test. So do that and don't focus on the mark. Don't see the mark. Okay, in this mock test I have got very less marks. So let me attend the second mock test. So let me see my mark there. Okay, I have got a little bit higher than this. Okay, then I don't have to attend the third mock test. Like that and all, don't set anything in your mind. Okay. Attempting the mock test is for your goodness. Is to find in which part you are lacking of. Okay. For that purpose only you are attending the mock test, not for getting the high marks. Okay. Keep that in mind. And at last, you have to keep a positive attitude. What is that attitude? You have to first believe in yourself. Okay. There will be times when you feel demotivated, but you should not give up the hope. You should not give up the hope. Eating healthy and doing exercise daily helps you to be in a relaxed mood. Don't study till the last minute. Don't study the day before the exam and all. Okay. And without the proper sleep, it will not work in a good way. And you should not waste your time also at the last minute. Don't waste your time in TV and internet. Okay. So with this, I want to close up the session. I hope you will all do good in your JEE Mains exam. All the best for you. I hope the session is very useful for the students who have listened now. And if you are having any doubts apart from this, you can ask me now. I'll give you some seconds. You can ask me. JNV Satara students, if you have any doubt apart from this, you can just let me know. No doubt? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for listening the lecture. All the best. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.